Hi guys, welcome to the section on prototyping. This is one of my favorite modules because this is at the heart of creating momentum. And why is momentum so important? Well, my mentor, John Maxwell, who I worked with in the US, used to say, momentum is a leader's best friend. See, think about this. If you have a train and there are a few rocks or bricks in front of it, and it's not moving, it'll be hard to make progress. But once you've picked up momentum and you're going, 50, 60, 70 kilometers, even if there's a concrete wall, you'll break through it. And that's what momentum does. Prototyping is important because it brings two things together. The one person, the one problem, the one promise gives you focus. That's your pitch part. And then your discipline of making, testing, and reviewing gives you a compounding cycle. So what is prototyping? It is finding the shortest path to a customer reaction. You see, a common mistake people make is they go around and ask people, would you like X? Would you like Y? And we're in an Asian culture, right? So we historically struggle with telling people we like it, we don't like it. However, if you show them something that they can respond to rather than tell them, you can get an emotional response. You could ask for next steps. You can ask them for money. You can ask them for a letter of intent. You can ask for partnerships. And then you can see whether they take that action, right? And that is a much more concrete way of really learning something. The second thing to notice is that a lot of decisions in uncertain environments are made by discussion, right? So unfortunately, the person that debates the best wins. Right? Instead, what you want is data, right? And that gives you the certainty to run the next set of experiments. I really want to thank my mentor, Tom Chi, who is co-founder of Google X and founder and consultant on some of the big innovations in the world right now. And I spent time getting mentored under him. And he was telling me, actually, just think about this. Why would you spend 3 weeks, 4 weeks discussing something when you can spend an hour building a prototype and another 2-3 hours showing it to customers and getting responses? So let me tell you a story of a friend of mine. She wanted to start a cafe and, several months went by. Every time we'd come back, she'd say, oh, I'm saving money. Oh, I'm doing this. And this was early on when I first discovered the idea of prototyping. So I said, hey, why don't we run a small evening where, maybe for 2-3 hours, you run the cafe. And then we went even a step and made it tinier and said, okay, let's just create a poster for this and see what people respond to. So we shared the poster, we got some responses. Then we ran a 2-3 hour cafe, just getting food from other places, setting it up in a certain way. The interesting part is at the end of the prototype, she discovered that what she really enjoyed was, one is she was shocked at how much work a cafe really is. And second is that she really enjoyed the discussions. Long story short, she moved her sort of career choice from setting up a cafe to being a trainer. Now, she could not have found that out if she had not run a prototype. Imagine she saved another 5 more months, put the lease down, then started this, and day one realized she didn't want to run a cafe. It would be very hard to change then because there are a lot of sunk costs. So prototypes allow you to take the cost out of failure so you can learn quickly and actually grow fast. So the basic steps in prototyping are simple. You've got your problem and your promise you're making to this person, and you just write out the steps, right? Probably in Post-its. So in growth hack context, the person is an entrepreneur. Let's say he has a business between 1.5 crores and he wants to scale up. And in growth hack, the promise we're making is you will get a breakthrough in the 4 ways you slow your business down personally, define where your business is, what needs to get hacked, and you'll get hands-on tools to hack those barriers in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So, and then we'd write down the steps, okay? So they see an ad on Facebook, right? And then they get on a call, then they meet for a consulting session, they get a welcome call, then they join Growth Hack. So those will be the steps. Now, how do I test this? I ask somebody who's not been a part of the prototyping session, or somebody who is not hands-on involved with this, to come in and say, hey, you know what, can you pretend to be this customer and role play it, act like you're him. These are your hopes, these are your fears, these are your frustrations. This is how you found out about us. This is what I'm promising you. Can we go through that journey? And you'd go through it and you'd notice responses, reactions. It's a good idea to do it with one other person or even record it. And then you'll review it. What were some patterns we picked up? How could we make things better, right? And then you would run a next version, right? So this cycle of, so the one person, the one problem, the one promise gives you focus, and the make, test, review gives you the compounding power. Together, you get momentum. And as you can see, this is why I am super excited about the power of prototyping and how you can take our frameworks and use it to serve a person in any area that matters to you.